Left field, Morgan Stiles. Batting fourth, playing third base, Zach Rushton. In the fifth spot, it'll be the extra hitter, Ethan Harty. 6, 7, and 8 will be three infielders, the first baseman, Ben Hamilton, the second baseman, Nate Shattuck, and the pitcher, Ben Smith. Batting ninth, and the catcher, Nick Robichaux. And batting in the 10 spot is right fielder Cooper Betts. Setting the defense for the Gateways, starting in the outfield, Cameron Barnes will be playing left, Ben Lyons in center, Brady Saulnier in right. Around the infield from third to first, it goes Blake Newell, Jared Pittman, Miguel Surrett, and Luke Legier. Behind the plate, it's going to be Liam Hingley, and on the mound, the starting pitcher, Drew Jeffrey, gets the start for the Gateways in this one, as the right-hander finishing off his warm-up pitches. And we're ready to get the bottom of this first inning going here. Aaron Hicks about ready to step in. The Royals in the colors you've come to associate with the Major League Ball team of the same name, the blue with the white writing, although these Royals have a light blue border around the numbers and around the script on the front. There's a line shot right back up the middle. Hard hit ball by Aaron Hicks. One pitch, one single. Getting things going for the Royals here in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up Carter Sturgeon. The Gateways also wearing blue, but their script on the front of the jersey is red. And the numbers on the front and back likewise in red. They've also got a bit of gray down the inner sleeve. There's a strike to Sturgeon, with Aaron Hicks standing at first, bottom of the first inning here. Another game in progress right now. They're in the bottom of the third inning over there. That game between the Capital District Islanders and the CBS Raiders. Runner going, throw down to second, just a little bit off target. Hicks gets in with the stolen base. The pitch to Sturgeon, a ball, and the count goes to 1-1. The Islanders, who, as mentioned, are 1-0 after a victory over Yarmouth, are leading the Raiders, who are 0-1 after a loss to these Royals. And the score in that one right now, they're in the top of the fourth inning, and the Raiders trail by a score of 6-2 to the Islanders. Here in this one, we're in the bottom of the first inning. We got going just 9 minutes ago. 2:58, the time of the first pitch. The temperature at the time of the first pitch, according to the Weather Network, 15 degrees, 63% humidity, still quite a bit of wind. Although it has died down a little bit since earlier this morning where we had very heavy wind. There's another single through the middle. Hicks is going to come around, try to score, but he will be gunned down at the plate. What a throw from center field by Ben Lyons, right on target and on time. Sturgeon with the single, advances to second on the throw. Mark the putout 8-2 for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Morgan Stiles. Stiles, the left fielder, comes up with a runner on second and one away after a great throw from Lyons. A well-applied tag as well. Got to give Hingley credit for that one. But what a throw from Lyons. Right on target. There's a strike to Stiles. And Jeffrey is ahead in the count here, 0-1. A big, big first out there as the Royals look to be getting things going in a hurry. There's a single out to right field. coming around to try and score, and he will come in to score as the ball actually gets away from the right fielder. And so that's going to be an RBI double for Stiles. Sturgeon comes in to score, and it's 1-0 for the Royals here in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring up Zach Rushton.
Number 16, Zach Rushton.
So a quick 1-0 lead here for Fredericton in the bottom of the first inning. Brings up the third baseman, Zach Rushton. Rushton swings through the first pitch, and the count goes to 0-1. So 3 straight hits. Actually, it's a single for Stiles, and he advances to second on a fielding error. That one fouled into the screen down the first base side, and the count goes to 0-2. 3 straight hits for the Royals, but a big defensive play by Ben Lyons out in center field has minimized the damage somewhat so far. There's a chopper off the front of the plate, down to second, over to first in time as Surratt makes the throw to Legier for out number 2. Stiles advances to third on the play, and that'll bring up the extra hitter, Ethan Hardy. The Gateways dropped that first game 6-5 in walk-off fashion for the Capital District Islanders. A very close play at the plate for the game-winning run. Hardy fouls the first one back. For the Royals, not much drama in that game that they had, but plenty of drama in the game for the Gateways that we had here on this field earlier this morning. That one sent way up into the air, out to center field. Underneath it to make the catch is Lyons for the third out. But the Royals do strike first. They get 1 run on 3 hits. There was 1 error and 1 runner left on base. We've played 1 complete inning. The Fredericton Royals lead the Yarmouth Gateways by a score of 1-0. Due up for the Gateways in the top of the second inning, it will be Blake Newell, Liam Hingley, and Sam Hope. Quick update on the game in the other diamond. They're still in the top of the 4th inning over there. The Islanders lead the Raiders by a score of 6-2. We'll keep you updated on the action over on Field 2 throughout this game. If you're just joining us for the first time, the Baseball Canada 13U National Atlantic Championships here in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. 2 pools of 4 teams. Each pool has 1 team from each of the 4 Atlantic provinces. The pool play will take place through today and tomorrow. Everybody will play twice today. Everybody will play once tomorrow. And then once pool play has wrapped up, we'll head into Saturday. On Saturday, if we need to have them, we'll have some tiebreaker games early in the morning. And then the placement games, the 4th place team in each pool will play for 7th and 8th. The 3rd place team in each pool will play for 5th and 6th. Top 2 teams in each pool will advance to semifinals, crossing over. Newell takes the first pitch for a strike. The winners of those two games will play for gold on Sunday, while the losers of those 2 games will play for bronze also on Sunday. Swing and a miss, and Newell behind in the count here quickly, 0-2. So for the Gateways, they really need to avoid dropping to 0-2 here. There's a line shot over the head of Shattuck, all the way out to the wall in right center. And Newell will be in with a stand-up double. That'll bring up Liam Hingley.
Now batting number 35, Liam Hingley.
Hingley had the big hit for the I knew it was going to happen to me eventually. The Yarmouth Gateways. I just about called them the Mariners, and of course, today is the opening day of the Maritime Hockey League season. There's a grounder to the shortstop and throws it over to third base. Hicks gets it to Rushton, and Rushton able to apply the tag. So Newell gets caught.
Now batting number 30.
Hingley reaches on the fielder's choice. 6-5 on the putout. And that'll bring up Sam Hope, the extra hitter. 1 on and 1 out now. Runner going. And Hope on the hit and run. Makes contact. Gets the ball poked out to right field. Hingley all the way around to third on the play, and that puts runners on the corners for Cameron Barnes.
Now batting number 24, Cameron Barnes.
The left fielder, the left-hander, steps in. Runners on the corners and 1 away here. And what looks to be a battle of 2 pretty potent offenses. Time called. Barnes steps, now he's going to call time again. Now he'll step back in one more time and will runner going. They do make the throw down to second. Hope gets in safely. Hingley not trying to break for home as Hope made that steal of second base. Barnes now with the count of 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one misses high, and the count goes to 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike here on Cameron Barnes with 2 on, 1 out. Top of inning number 2. That one misses inside, and the count goes to 3-1. Ben Smith behind in the count here, 3-1. That one fouled off, and the count is now full on the left-handed hitting left fielder for the Gateways. I mentioned it is opening night of the Maritime Hockey League. Of course, Yarmouth represented by the Mariners in that league, as there's ball 4 to walk the bases loaded, and that'll bring up Ben Lyons. He was the defensive hero in the bottom of the first. Now comes up
Ben Lyons.
here in the top of the second to try and be an offensive hero. First pitch to Lyons. Misses low, ball 1. The first game of the Maritime Hockey League season goes tonight in Pictou County. My hometown team, the Crushers, taking on the Fredericton Red Wings. And if I wasn't here calling this tournament, I'd be there calling that game, but my good friend Alex Terrio will have the call of that one over on Hockey TV. Big thanks to Alex for covering for me tonight. There, that one's fouled off, and the count goes to 2-1. So those of you watching this one from Fredericton, you can tune in to your local Junior A team, a new not a new franchise, but a new team in the league after the St. Stephen Aces moved from St. Stephen to Fredericton at the end of last season. There's a grounder down to short, knocked down, throw to second in time to get 1, but they'll only get the 1. And the I did it again. The Gateways tie up the game. Fielder's choice 6-4 on the putout. Lyons does get an RBI on the play. Hingley comes in to score. Hope is able to take third. Barnes is retired on the fielder's choice. And Lyons at first. So it's Hope at third, Lyons at first. 2 away now of this tie ball game. And Miguel Surratt stands in, the second baseman. Runner going on the first pitch. And no throw down to make sure that Hope stays at third. Swing and a miss there. And the count goes to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike here on the second baseman, Miguel Surratt. Gets a piece of that one and fouls it off, and the count goes to 1-2. Gateways in their opening game had a very good chance as they led. There's a grounder right back to Smith. Smith over to Hamilton for the third out. But 2 hits and a walk combined with a couple of fielders' choices lead to 1 run on those 2 hits. No errors and 2 runners, left on base. We've played 1.5. We're all tied up, 1 apiece. Due up in the bottom of inning number 2 for the Royals. It'll be Ben Hamilton, Nate Shattuck, and Ben Smith. Mentioned the Gateways had a good chance in that opening game against the Islanders. The Islanders did strike first. They led 1-0 after 1. But the Gateways responded with 3 in the top of the second. Held the 3-1 lead until the bottom of the third when the Islanders put up 3 of their own, making it 4-3. Then the top of the fifth, the Gateways took the lead back 5-4. In the bottom of the fourth, the lead was extended to 5-3. The Gateways tied it up in the top of the fifth, making it 5-5, and it stayed that way until the bottom of the seventh, when Jack McKinnon of the Capital District Islanders drove in the game-winning run. It was a close play at the plate. Bases were loaded. Nobody was out. Yasu Hojo hit a leadoff double. And then Will White struck out, but advanced on a passed ball. Hojo was able to take third on that same play. That put runners on the corners. Then they walked Jack Burke to load the bases, try and get a force play at the plate. And then Jack McKinnon put the ball in play. They threw home, and Hojo just beat it out for a 6-5 victory for the Islanders over the Gateways in that one. First pitch to Ben Hamilton just misses, and the count goes to 1-0. Hamilton fouls that one back, and it's now 1-1. So as I mentioned, lots of drama in that game between the Gateways and the Islanders earlier. Not nearly as much drama in the game for the Royals. There's a strike, and the count goes to 1-2. They scored 6 in the bottom of the first, 3 more in the bottom of the second, 6 more in the bottom of the third, and it was 15-0 going into the fourth. In the top of the fourth, the Raiders scored 1. There's a called third strike for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Nate Shattuck, the second baseman, stepping in. So it was 15-0 going into the fourth. The Raiders scored 1 in the top of the fourth to force the Royals to have to bat in the bottom of the fourth because it's a 15-run rule after 4 innings. And so when the Royals scored a run in the bottom of the fourth inning, that was enough to bring the gap back to 15. And that is how that game ended, 16-1. That one well hit out to center field. Coming in to make the catch is Ben Lyons. Lyons having a busy game out there in center field. He's now got 2 putouts and an assist, and we've played just an inning and 2/3. That'll bring up Ben Smith, the pitcher who's facing Jeffrey in this one. And the 2 right-handed pitchers face off here in this righty versus righty matchup, face to face. First pitch in for a called strike as the wind's picking back up again. In from center field. That one well hit, but Lyons able to make his way over and make the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We've played 2 complete and we're all tied up at 1. Due up in the top of the 3rd inning for the Gateways, it'll be Brady Saulnier. Then back around to the top of the order for Jared Pittman and Luke Legier. Strong start for both of these defenses. Both teams have been able to retire a side in order. Both teams have been able to put up 1 run on the board. So a very good back and forth game to get things started. After this game, we'll have the opening ceremonies. Actually, no, I stand corrected. After this game, our next one... No, I was right the first time. Our next game will not be until 8 o'clock tonight. We'll have the opening ceremonies here at 7. And then our last game of the day will be between the host Dartmouth Arrows and the St. John's Capitals. A Pool A matchup between Dartmouth, who won their game earlier today against Port City, and the the St. John's Capitals lost their opener against Summerside, so that'll be a matchup of a 1-0 Dartmouth against 0-1 St. John's. Saulnier steps in, takes a strike, and the count goes to 0-1. Brady Saulnier, the left-handed hitting right fielder, getting his first at-bat of the game here, showing bunt. Gets a piece of the ball, but ends up fouling it off, and the count goes to 0-2. By the end of the day today, everybody will have played twice. There's a called third strike. Third strikeout for Smith. Second time he's caught a man looking. And we're back around to the top of the order for Jared Pittman, the other player who struck out looking to Smith.
Batting now, number 23, Jared Pittman.
So time called while the first baseman Hamilton has to deal with an equipment issue, aka his shoe was untied. Finishing that thought from a moment ago, by the time we finish the day today, everybody will have played twice. Everyone will have one game tomorrow. All 4 games tomorrow will be on this field. They appeal down to third to see if Pittman offered at that pitch enough. The umpire indicates he did not, and so that's ball 1. All 4 games tomorrow on this field, all 4 games tomorrow here, available on 360 Live through Bell. There's a swing and a miss. The count goes 1-1. And then Sunday, Saturday rather, depending on how things work out, there's a offer at the ball for a bunt and bunting through the ball. Count goes to 1-2 now on Pittman. Depending on how things play out, we may have some games over on field 2 as well as field 1. There's a swing and a miss. Fourth strikeout for Smith. Second strikeout of Pittman. And that'll bring up Luke Legier, who is one of those 4 strikeout victims.
Luke Legier.
Legier struck out back in the first. Here comes the first pitch to Legier from Smith. Grounded right down at the second baseman, Shattuck, across to first. In time. Another 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We've played 2.5, and we're still tied 1-1. Due up in the bottom of the third. It'll be Robichaud, Betts, and then back around to the top of the order for Aaron Hicks. So what I said about a couple of potent offenses, both pitchers have settled things down quite a bit. Jeffrey now has retired 5 in a row after 3 straight hits to start the game for the Royals. And for the Gateways, or for the Royals, Smith has been able to, other than one hard hit ball by Newell, has been able to keep most everything relatively softly hit. He's also been able to get 4 strikeouts through the first 3 innings. And in the 5 half innings that we've played so far, 3 of them have been 3 up, 3 down. Jeffrey getting the rest of his warm-up tosses in here as we get ready for the bottom of the third. And leading off, it will be the catcher for the Royals, Nick Robichaud.
Now batting number 33, Nick Robichaud.
First pitch to Robichaud just misses, and the count quickly 1-0 here. As Jeffrey doesn't waste a lot of time out there. He gets the ball, he gets himself set, and he's right back throwing. There's a strike, and the count goes to 1-1. One ball, one strike, the count here on Robichaud. And there's strike 2. Time called as I think some dust came up into the face of Hingley. It's one of the perils of this strong wind that we've got blowing in from center field. That one misses high, and the count goes to 2-2. It's blowing pretty much straight into our faces here behind the plate. I can imagine it's doing the same to the catcher and the umpire and the batter. That one misses, and the count now runs full. Payoff pitch. Swung on, and I believe contact was made, but it was foul. Whether it was swung on and missed or tipped right back into the glove of Hingley, either way, it's the second strikeout of the day for Jeffrey, and that'll bring up Cooper Betts, the left-handed hitting right fielder for the Royals, stands in. That's now 6 in a row retired. That pitch misses a bit up, and the count goes 1-0. Jeffries now, as mentioned, retired 6 in a row for the Gateways. That one misses inside, and the count 2-0. Pitch right down the middle, and it's now 2-1. And here comes the 2-1. Knocked down by the first baseman, race to the bag, and getting to it first was Legier. Great hustle there by Betts to try and beat it out, but Legier gets to the bag just ahead.
Now batting, number 10, Aaron Hicks.
That'll bring us back around to the top of the order. Aaron Hicks, who singled his first time up, stole second, and then was gunned down on a great play from Ben Lyons as Hicks was trying to come home on a single from Carter Sturgeon. Comes up here with 2 away. Fouls off the first pitch, and the count goes to 0-1. And that extends the string of retired Royals to 7 in a row. That pitch misses high, 1-1. As Jeffrey, after giving up 3 straight hits to start the game, has really settled down. That one popped foul into the netting off the first base side, and the count 1-2. Quick update from the other diamond. It's now 11-2 for the Islanders over the Raiders. They're into the bottom of the 4th there. Now they're into the top of the 5th. There's a ball, and the count now 2-2 here on Hicks. So the Islanders lead it by 9 going into the 5th inning over on diamond number 2. Islanders that close to advancing to 2-0. That one fouled off into the mesh off the first base side, and the count remains 2-2. That one right at the shortstop Pittman, across to Legier for out number 3. So another 3 up, 3 down inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played 3 complete, and we're tied 1-1. Due up in the top of the 4th for the Gateways, it'll be Jeffrey, Newell, and Hingley. As Smith out there ready for his 4th inning of work. And a reminder, we can make this broadcast somewhat interactive. If you want to send me a message, either look me up on Facebook or on Twitter. It's Petter Pictou Sports. If you just put that into the search bar on either of those 2 media, Facebook or Twitter, Petter, P-E-T-T-E-R, Pictou Sports. Pictou is in the county here in Nova Scotia. Or if you want to shortcut it, just go facebook.com/PetterPC Sports. Or on Twitter, it's PetterPC_sports. Send me a message or tag me in a tweet or whatever the case may be. There's a grounder off the leg of Smith, right to the second baseman, over to first in time. Smith to Shattuck to Hamilton for the out. The not as uncommon as you would think. 1-4-3 putout for the first out of the inning. So Jeffrey goes to 0 for 2 on the morning, or on the afternoon. That'll bring up Blake Newell. He doubled to lead off the second and then was retired, trying to advance to third on a ground ball to short. Takes a first pitch strike there, and the count goes to 0-1. So yeah, send me a message either on Facebook or tweet to me on Twitter, and I'll do my best to respond. There's a strike, and the count 0-2. As Newell watched that one paint the inside corner. Good pitch from Smith there. With that curveball coming back over the inside corner. Grounder to short. Hicks charges it. Picks up and throws a strong fire across the diamond for the second out. That'll bring up Liam Hingley. He grounded into a fielder's choice. Ended up coming around to score. The only run for the Gateways so far. The run that tied the game up at 1 run apiece, which is where we stand. That happened back in the top of the second. We're now into the top of the fourth and still with that same 1-1 score line. That one misses outside, and the count goes to 2-0. As this game flowing along at a really good pace here. That's what happens when you get a lot of quick 1, 2, 3 innings. There's a grounder right at the third baseman, Rushton. Sets and fires across the diamond to Hamilton in time. Another 1, 2, 3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We've played 3.5. And it's still 1-1. And between these two pitchers, they have now retired 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 batters in a row between the two of them. As we are definitely into a pitching duel. Due up in the bottom of the fourth, it'll be Sturgeon, Stiles, and Rushton. As between the two, 13 batters retired in a row between these two teams. That is certainly some strong pitching from both Jeffrey and Smith here in this afternoon's ball game. Quick update. They're still 11-2 over in the game between the Islanders and the Raiders. Again, the Islanders with that 9-run lead in the ninth, or in the fifth, excuse me, I'm sorry. 1 away. If the Islanders win, they will advance to 2-0 on the tournament. On the tournament, and will be all but guaranteed a spot in the semifinals. And for Newfoundland-based team, the CBS Raiders, they'll be 0-2 and need a lot of help if they want to try and stay alive for the semis on Saturday. Otherwise, they would be playing in a placement game earlier in the day Saturday.
At bat is number 12, Carter Sturgeon.
So Carter Sturgeon will lead it off. He scored the only run for the Royals so far in this game. That was a single, and then ended up singled, advanced to second on the throw home that retired Hicks, and then came in to score on Morgan Stiles' single. Pops that one up high in the air, left side of the infield. Moving over to make the catch for the first out is Newell. 1 pitch, 1 out. And that'll bring up Morgan Stiles. Stiles, an RBI single his first time up.
31, Morgan Stiles.
Stiles ready to step in here. The last player for the Royals to reach base. Grounder to short, knocked down, throw across, not in time, as Pittman knocked the ball down but wasn't able to gather it up quickly enough to get the throw across to Legier in time. We'll wait to see how they score that. They call it is scored an error. So Stiles reaches on the error. That'll bring up Zach Rushton with 1 on, 1 out. Rushton 0 for 1 with a ground out to Surratt at second base. Grounds it to Surratt again. Surratt gets the lead runner at second. So Rushton grounds into the fielder's choice. Stiles retired at second base. That'll bring up Ethan Hardy.
Number 21, Ethan Hardy.
Hardy flew out to center his first time up. One of 4 defensive plays made by Ben Lyons through the first 2 innings. This time it's grounded down to third, gathered up, throw across by Newell, offline. Rushton, gets all the way around to third. Hardy reaches on the throwing error from Newell, and that puts runners on the corners with 2 away for Ben Hamilton. He struck out looking his first time up.
Batting now is number 23, Ben Hamilton.
So Hamilton has a chance to break the tie here with a runner at third, also a runner at first, 2 away. Runner going from first. That one fouled back, and the count goes to 0-1. So the Gateways commit 2 errors in this inning, one by Pittman, one by Newell. There's a swing and a miss, and Jeffrey is 1 strike away from getting out of this inning without those 2 errors causing any real damage. Here comes the pitch from Jeffrey. Popped up. First base side, foul territory. Getting over and making the catch is Legier. So the Royals do get a couple of runners on. No runs, no hits, 2 errors, and 2 runners left on base. We played 4 complete, and we're still tied up at 1 run apiece. We head to the top of the 5th. Due up, it'll be Hope, Barnes, and Lyons for the Yarmouth Gateways. Meanwhile, we look over at the game across the way. They are still in the top of the 5th there as well. We've caught up to them, even though our game started an hour after theirs did. And the Prince Edward Island team, the Capital District Islanders, lead the team from Newfoundland and Labrador, the CBS Raiders, 11-2. Quick look at actually, we're going to get some changes here for the Royals as I look to see. Robichaux is still behind the plate. It's still Smith on the mound. Still Hamilton over at first. Still Rushton at third. As I look around, I don't see where the defensive change was made. Sam Hope leading things off. Hope singled in the second. Ended up stranded at third. First pitch to Hope misses. Ball 1. Okay. Ethan Harty has moved to right field. That one sent out to right field, and Harty, the new right fielder, misplays it. And that allows Hope to get in with the double. Is that Hope or is that?
Cameron Barnes.
So Barnes will step in. He walked his first time up. He sends that one way up high into the air, and it'll go out of play, foul ball. That one grounded down to second. Newell will advance to third on the play. So Hope, will advance to third on the play. A productive out there for Barnes. Moves the runner to second. That'll bring up Ben Lyons.
Now batting number 27, Ben Lyons.
But before we get to Lyons' at bat, looks like we're going to see a pitching change here. Again, Ethan Harty, who was the extra hitter, is now playing in right field. No, we're not going to see a pitching change as of yet. So Cooper Betts, who was the right fielder, has temporarily moved to extra hitter, although I think that's so that he can get warmed up to pitch here shortly, would be my guess. Hardy's playing right field, not Wall. That one fouled out of play. Hardy is playing right field, not Wall. 21, Hardy is in right field, not to Wall. As coming in to score on that pass ball is Hope. And so that will give the Gateways the lead for the first time in this game, as the score goes to 2-1 for the Gateways. Coming in on that pass ball. 1-1 the count now on Lyons. Swing and a miss, and the count goes to 1-2. Base is now empty with one away, and the Gateways with their first lead of this ball game. Grounder, second baseman. Shattuck gets it over to Hamilton for the second out, and that'll bring up Miguel Surrett. Surrett grounded back to the pitcher back in the second inning.
Batting now number 44, Miguel Surrett.
Surrett first pitch swinging to the second baseman again, and all three putouts are ground outs from Shattuck to Hamilton. But a leadoff double, then an advance to third on a ground out, and coming home to score on a pass ball. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. The Yarmouth Gateways lead the Fredericton Royals 2-1 going into the bottom of the fifth. Due up, it'll be Nate Shattuck, Ben Smith, and Nick Robichaux. As we're We're going to see some defensive changes for Yarmouth. Blake Noel now is at first base. Sam Hope has gone from extra hitter over to third base. Hingley still behind the plate. Jeffrey still on the mound. Surratt is still at second. Yes, Hope has gone from extra hitter to third base. Newell has gone from third base to first base. And Legier, who was the first baseman, is now the extra hitter while he goes and warms up to take over for Jeffrey once Jeffrey gets to whatever pitch number the Gateway pitching or the Gateway coaching staff have decided will be the magic number. Nate Shattuck due up here to lead off the bottom of the fifth. He flew out to center his first time up. Takes a first pitch ball, and the count goes to 1-0. They've headed to the top of the sixth in that game across the way. Still 11-2 the scoreline there. As Shattuck able to ground that one through the right side of the infield for a leadoff single. That'll bring up Ben Smith. Smith 0 for 1. Flew out to center. Back in inning number 2. One of the 9 in a row retired by Jeffrey between the first and fourth innings. That one misses outside, and the count 1-0. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Smith lays down the bunt. Off of the mound to get the ball was Jeffrey, but Smith gets the sacrifice. 1-3 on the putout, or 1-4 on the putout, excuse me.
At bat is number 33.
Shattuck advances to second base. He's in scoring position for Nick Robichaux. Robichaux struck out his first time up. That one high in the air in foul territory, right off the roof of a car. Fortunately, no real damage to the vehicle, it looks like. Equally fortunately, not my car. That one fouled off as well, and the count goes 0-2. If my wife is watching, don't worry, honey. I parked way away in a very safe spot. And even if my wife is not watching, I still parked way away. That one gets away from the catcher, and the pass or the wild pitch allows Shattuck to get down to third. So 1-2 now the count on Robichaux. That one way in the air and way foul. So the count remains 1-2. That one off the front of the plate. Throw to first in time. The run does score, but an RBI for Robichaud ties up this game at 2. Shattuck comes in to score, and that'll bring up a pinch hitter. Charlie Wall will step in, as I see a message here from Tony Hay making a comment about there's a grounder down to the first baseman, and making a quick touch of the bag there is Newell for the third out, but the leadoff single does turn into a run. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base through 5 complete innings. We are tied up at 2 apiece. Due up in the top of the 6th, it'll be Saulnier, Pittman, and Legier. And the comment from Tony Hay talking about the fact that all of the players for the Royals have bleached hair except for the head coach. Apparently that's some sort of an inside joke. And then he goes on to say, "Go Royals." I did notice that the players for the Royals do all have quite light locks, but I wasn't going to make a comment about it until I was instructed to there. As we do have a new pitcher for the Royals now throwing from the mound, it is Carter Sturgeon, who had been playing center field. Charlie Wall, who just pinch hit there, comes in to play center field. As we look around, Hardy is still in right. Wall is in center. Still Stiles in left. And we're going to have a pinch hitter for Saulnier here to start off the top of the 6th inning. Callum Hines, excuse me.
Now pitching for New Brunswick is number 12, Carter Sturgeon.
Will pinch hit. So Sturgeon. So let's reset the defense. It's now Stiles, Wall, and Harty in the outfield from left to right. The infield remains the same of Rushton, Hicks, Shattuck, and Hamilton. Robichaud still behind the plate, and the new pitcher, as mentioned, is Carter Sturgeon. So Ben Smith, who had been the pitcher, moves to extra hitter. And Callum Hines comes in to pinch hit for Brady Saulnier here in the top of the 6th of a 2-2 ball game. The Gateways playing their 2nd consecutive very close, very hard-fought game. There's a swing and a miss by Hines, excuse me. And for the Royals, this one a far cry from their opening game. There's a called strike, and the count goes to 0-2. Meanwhile, the Islanders have scored a 12th run, so they have a 10-run margin now going into the bottom of the 6th, and that is significant because if the Raiders do not score in the bottom of the 6th, then that game will be a final, and that will be the 3rd consecutive game that will be shortened by run differential over on Field 2, where we've had 3 games. There's a line shot out to left field, a little bit misjudged there by Stiles. And as he broke in on the ball, it ended up sailing over his head, and another leadoff double. Back-to-back innings for leadoff doubles for the Gateways. This time it's Callum Hines who is the beneficiary, and he'll head to second with Jared Pittman now coming in. The lefty 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts on the afternoon. Swings through the first pitch and the count 0-1. Luke Legier in the on-deck circle as the Gateways will try to take advantage of this leadoff double, much like they did last inning, to try and break this 2-2 tie. Sturgeon, long look in for the signs. Quick check, back to second base. Grounder to third, gathered up by Rushton. Throw across the diamond. Not sure if it wasn't in time or if Hamilton stepped off the bag too soon to try and make the throw back across to third.
Batting now is number 34, Luke Legier.
I believe that was an error. Either way, it puts runners on the corners for Legier. Legier 0 for 2 as he struck out in the first, grounded out in the third. Comes up here with runners on the corners. No, they're calling that an infield single. Runner going from first, and they're not going to bother throwing down to make sure that Hines stays at third. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Gateways. They've also committed 3 errors. There's a hard shot out to center field. Getting across and making the catch is Wall, and not trying to advance. Hines stays at third base. He might have had a chance to try and come in to score, but Wall makes the catch out in center field for the first out. That'll bring up Drew Jeffrey. Jeffrey's grounded out twice.
Batting is number 42, Drew Jeffrey.
Grounded to third in the first, grounded to second in the fourth, and takes a first pitch strike here in the sixth. Pittman at second, Hines at third. Again, for the Gateways, 2 runs on 5 hits. They've committed 3 errors. For the Royals, 2 runs on 4 hits. There's a grounder to first. Runner trying to come home. He will be tagged out as the throw home from Hamilton to Robichaux in plenty of time to get Hines trying to score. Jeffrey reaches on the fielder's choice, 3-2 on the putout for the second out of the inning. Pittman advances to third on the throw home. Runners on the corners once again, and Blake Newell will step in. He doubled in the second, was retired on a fielder's choice, grounded out in the fourth, and takes a first pitch strike here. So a couple of miscues on the base paths by the Gateways keep this game tied at 2. That one misses high, and the count goes to 1-1. Not a whole big lot of space here behind home plate here at the Greeno Field. That one misses outside, 2-1. To advance from first to second or second to third on a pass ball or wild pitch, there's plenty of room, but that one misses outside. Actually, no, balk gets called. So on the balk, Pittman comes home. Jeffrey advances to second. The pitch did not count as it was a balk. And the Gateways retake the lead. It's now 3-2. There's a strike, and the count goes to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and a runner on base number 2. That one misses high, and the count runs full. The Royals scored in the first. The Gateways responded in the top of the second. That one gets past. It is ball 4, but Jeffrey will head down to third base as the ball got past the catcher Robichaud, and that'll bring up Liam Hingley. But before Hingley comes up, we're going to get a meeting at the mound here.
Liam Hingley.
Runners once again on the corners with 2 away. Again, if you're just tuning in, it is 3-2, top of the 6th inning. The Royals led it 1-0 when they scored in the bottom of the first inning. Gateways responded with 1 in the top of the second. It stayed 1-1 all the way till the top of the 5th. The Gateways scored in the top of the 5th to make it 2-1. Royals responded in the bottom to make it 2-2. And the Royals have scored again here in the 6th, making it 3-2. And they continue to threaten with runners on the corners, 2 out. Runner going on the first pitch. It is called a strike. No throw down to second so that Jeffrey can't get home from third. And Hingley is behind in the count 0-1. There's a ball and the count goes to 1-1. Some potential insurance runs out there on the base paths. There's a grounder. That'll get through the right side. 1 run will score. Coming around from second, around third and in to score is Newell. A big 2 RBI single for Hingley. And for Hingley, who had a 2-run home run in the first game, now gets a 2-run single here in the second game.
That is number 39.
And has opened up now a 5-2 lead for the Gateways. And that'll bring up Sam Hope. No, we're going to get a pinch hitter. Oh, no, we're changing bats. I see. Okay, so Sam Hope does step in. He got all the way up to the plate and then realized he didn't have the right bat, so went back and got the one he wanted. Sturgeon steps off the mound and getting back in. Maybe not the most stylish back into first from Hingley, but Hingley gets a good jump on the first pitch and is into second base safely with the steal. Pitch was a ball to Hope. So Hope, who's 2 for 2 with a single, a double, and a run scored. Swings through that one, and the count goes to 1-1. Royals trailing 5-2 now. 6 outs left to work with here. Bottom of the 6th and bottom of the 7th forthcoming. But they still have to get through the top of the 6th first. And getting over to make the catch, it wasn't pretty, but Hardy found a way as he looked like he slipped a little bit there trying to get over to that ball, but he did get to it in time for the 3rd out. But as mentioned, the Yarmouth Gateways put up 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th with the Gateways leading it 5-2. And the Raiders were not able to score in the bottom of the 6th inning, so they did not need to play the 7th. The Capital District Islanders defeat the CBS Gateways by a score of 12-2. So The team from the Charlottetown area of Prince Edward Island advanced to 2-0. The team from the Conception Bay region, or Conception Bay South particular, of Newfoundland Labrador dropped to 0-2. And if this score holds in this game, then these two teams will be 2-1, or will each be 1-1. And we could very well see a three-way tie at 2-1, depending on the outcome of tomorrow's games in this pool. If the Royals lose this game and then win the game tomorrow when they take on Capital District, and then the Gateways win the game against the Raiders, all three of those teams will be 2-1, and then we'd have to go to all kinds of tiebreaker formulas to figure out who would end up in which spot and who would play in what tiebreaker game, and all kinds of as now I get the explanation from Tony. Hey, there's a grounder to third. Quick throw over to first and a quick one pitch, one out as Aaron Hicks grounds out. Hicks, Sturgeon, and Stiles do up in the top of the sixth. So Tyler Rucher, the head coach of the Royals, apparently backed out on a bet and refused to even bleach the beard. So there you go. There's a strike on Sturgeon. Sturgeon 1 for 2, singled and scored in the first, flew out or popped out to the third baseman in the fourth. Well hit ball out to center field, but played just about perfectly was Lyons as he barely had to take 4 or 5 steps over to his left to make that catch. And it's 2 up, 2 down for Morgan Stiles. He singled and drove in a run in the first, reached on an error in the fourth, so 1 for 2 with an RBI.
Batting is 31, Morgan Stiles.
So Stiles stands in, takes the first pitch for a ball. 1-0 the count on the right-handed hitting left fielder. Jeffrey continuing to work. He's thrown 5 2/3 innings. That one grounded to short. Pittman up, throws across, and a quick 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We've played 6 complete. And the Yarmouth Gateways lead it 5-2 over the Fredericton Royals. Gateways look to add a little bit of extra insurance in the top of the 7th. It'll be Barnes, Lyons, and Surrett due up. As so a quick update again on the schedule. The next game to start will be a 5 o'clock start over on the other field, and that will involve the teams from Summerside and Port City from New Brunswick. That'll be a Pool A game. Summerside with the victory in their first game earlier today. Port City dropped their first one, so 1-0 versus 0-1. Then at 7 o'clock here on this field, we will have the opening ceremonies. And then finally, an 8 o'clock game after the opening ceremonies here on this field, as the Dartmouth Arrows, the host team of this event, will take on
Batting for Nova Scotia, number
the
24,
team from St. John's, Newfoundland, in another battle of teams, one team at 1-0 and another team at 0-1. First pitch from Sturgeon, misses outside, ball 1 to Barnes. Barnes 0 for 1 with a walk. Walked in the second and grounded out in the fifth. That misses outside, and the count goes to 2-0. There's a strike on the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-1. The 2-1 pitch now. That misses outside, and it's 3-1. Barnes, Lyons, and Surrett due up. Swung through, and the count goes full. Payoff pitch coming from Sturgeon. Sent out to shallow left field. It ends up dropping in that Bermuda Triangle. And in safe with the double is Barnes. It fell in that no man's land where the shortstop, the third baseman, and the left fielder all couldn't quite get to it. And Barnes hustling the whole way into second with the double. That'll bring up Lyons. Lyons reached on a fielder's choice and drove in a run in the second, and then grounded out in the fifth. So 0 for 2 with an RBI. Shows bunt, pulls the bat back. Appeal to the umpire to see if he offered too much so at the pitch. The umpire says no dice, so the count goes to 1-0. Shows bunt again. That pitch misses inside, gets away from the catcher, Robichaud. And heading down to third is Barnes. Gateway's leading it by 3 and looking to extend that lead. Getting underneath that one and popping it into foul territory. What a catch by Robichaud. Right up against the fence. Robichaud able to get the glove out before that ball could reach the fence. That'll bring up Miguel Surrett. Surrett 0 for 2, grounded back to the pitcher in the second. Grounded out to second base in the fifth. Comes up here in the seventh, trying to extend that 3-run lead. There's a grounder to third. They will trade the run for the out. And Surrett gets the RBI. But the lead now extends to 6-2. And that'll bring up Callum Hines. Hines doubled in the sixth.
Number 43, Caleb Hines.
Hines doubled in the sixth, his first at-bat of the game after coming in as a pinch hitter. And ended up being retired trying to score. There's a grounder back to the pitcher. Nice play there by Sturgeon to get the ball. But a leadoff double turns into another run. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played 6.5. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th with the Yarmouth Gateways leading at 6-2. Due up in the bottom of inning number 7. It'll be Zach Rushton, Ethan Hardy, and Ben Hamilton. And if anybody gets on, then Nate Shattuck due up after that. And we'll see a new pitcher for the Gateways. Drew Jeffrey through the first 6 innings. And to finish it off, it will be Luke Legier. So Legier will come in and pitch the bottom of the 7th. It is not a save situation by virtue of the 4-run margin. Bit of a different delivery there for Luke Legier. As we're watching him warm up here, there's a bit of a odd, actually there wasn't one that time, just as I was commenting on it from seeing it from a couple of previous warm-up pitches. When he goes from the full windup, there's a bit of a sort of a pause there at the top of his leg kick. You don't see it when he pitches from the stretch, but when he throws from the windup, a unique kind of pause there at the top of that leg kick, and then whips through hard.
At bat is number 16, Zach Rushton.
Here comes Zach Rushton. He grounded out in the first, reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th. So 0 for 2 on this game. First pitch misses high, ball 1. Royals need 4 to tie it up, 5 to win here in the bottom of inning number 7. That one misses high, ball 2. Legier coming in relief of a great pitching performance over 6 innings from the starting pitcher, Drew Jeffrey. 3-0 now the count here on Rushton. And a 4-pitch walk puts the leadoff runner on. That'll bring up Ethan Harty. Harty flew out to center his first time up, reached on an error in the 4th. So 0 for 2. Here comes the first pitch, and there's a strike right at the knees of Hardy. 0-1 the count. The run represented by Rushton would only make it 6-3, so Gateway's not overly concerned there. That one fouled back into the trees, and the count goes to 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Couple looks over to first. That one sent out to center field. Lyons comes over and makes the catch. For Lyons, that is his 6th putout, or 5 putouts and 1 assist from center field on this game. That brings up Ben Hamilton. He struck out in the 2nd, popped to first in the 4th. Throw over to first, and getting back safely is Rushton. Again, that 5 o'clock game between Summerside. That one fouled off, and the count goes to 0-1. The 5 o'clock game between Summerside and Port City will not be broadcast. It's going to be played over at the other diamond. Then the 8 o'clock game, which will be on this field between Dartmouth and St. John's, will be broadcast right here on 360 Live, powered by Bell. That pitch misses high, and the count goes to 1-1. Then all 4 of tomorrow's games, starting at 8:30 tomorrow morning, will be right here, all available live on 360 Live. There's also going to be a home run derby tomorrow evening. That pitch to Hamilton reaches the top of the zone, and the count goes to 1-2. As the Gateways are 2 outs away from evening up their record at 1-1 and pulling the Fredericton Royals back to 1-1. Royals need 4 here in the bottom of the 7th inning to tie it up, 5 to win, as they try to have a big comeback inning against the Gateways. That pitch misses high, 2-2 the count. The Capital District Islanders have already advanced to 2-0 in this pool with their win. That one fouled off. Staying alive is Hamilton as he was able to get a piece of that one. The Islanders with a win over Yarmouth this morning. And then the win in the game that ended about 20-25 minutes ago. That pitch in the dirt runs the count full. It also allows Rushton to get down to second. CBS Raiders dropped to 0-2 after losses to Fredericton this morning and that loss just moments ago. There's a throw down to first. In time, not exactly the smoothest of plays, but it gets the job done as Legier gets the throw over to first base for out number 2. As Newell was able to get back down onto the bag in time, and that'll bring up Nate Shattuck. Shattuck flew out to center in the 2nd, singled and came around to score in the 5th, and represents the final chance for the Royals here in the 7th. Rushton at second base, 2 away, time called. And now we're ready to resume. First pitch to Shattuck, misses just a little bit high, ball 1. Legier looks back to second, delivers, and catches the outside corner. 1-1 now the count. Here comes the 1-1. On the outside corner, 1-2. One more strike. And the Gateways will improve to 1-1. Here's the pitch. Grounded back. Legier flips it to Newell. And that will do it for the ball game. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left on base. And the final score in this one, the Yarmouth Gateways defeat the Fredericton Royals by a score of 6-2. The Gateways improve to 1-1. The Royals drop to 1-1. We'll stick around for the presentation of the players of the game, and then we'll sign off until the opening ceremonies at 7 o'clock tonight. A big victory for the Gateways, as both the Gateways and the Royals 1-1 after a pair of games on day number 1. For the Gateways, they still have the CBS Raiders left tomorrow. That game will be at 11:30 tomorrow morning. For the Royals, they have a big game left against the Capital District Islanders. That'll be the 8:30 a.m. game tomorrow. as we've got a little bit of confusion here before we get to the presentation of the players of the game. So they'll get that sorted out.
The MVPs for the game. For Nova Scotia, number 42, Drew Jeffrey.
Drew Jeffrey is named player of the game for the Gateways. Hard to argue against that. A strong 6-inning pitching performance, giving up just 2 runs on 4 hits.
MVP
And
for New
the winning
Brunswick,
pitcher.
number 26, Ben Smith.
And Ben Smith, their starting pitcher, also named player of the game. He threw 5 strong innings of 2-run ball. And giving up 2 runs on just 3 hits. So the 2 starting pitchers are the 2 players of the game, and that will bring this one to a final. The final score once again, the Yarmouth Gateways defeat the Fredericton Royals 6-2. That'll do it for us until 7 o'clock this evening when we bring you the opening ceremonies. Until then, this is Michael Petter saying, may your pitches hit the corners, may your liners hit the gaps. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with you at 7 o'clock for the opening ceremonies.